Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul Jenkins, Managing Director of UK Packaging Innovation Consultancy, ThePackHub. Welcome to our second Sustainable Packaging Review of the day. I will be joined by Barrington Pamplin, my colleague and Technical Director at ThePackHub. And over the next 50 minutes or so, we will do the following. So we'll have a 2-minute introduction to ThePackHub and the Innovation Zone, an overview of sustainable packaging trends, 20 sustainable packaging innovations you need to know, a summary and Q&A. We're going to have 3 interactive polls and a webinar exclusive special offer and details of our next webinar. And you will get a link to this webinar recording post-event. So a little bit about the ThePackHub. We're a UK packaging innovation consultancy focusing on 4 areas. So that's technical support and project management, events where they're possible. Obviously, at the moment we're in very difficult and unusual circumstances. Packaging reports. So our last one was a sustainable packaging compendium launched a couple of months ago, featuring over 500 packaging innovations. And insight and trends. So those insights and trends are really the nucleus of all the insight that we generate. It's via our Innovation Zone packaging database, which is a searchable and easy to use resource. Almost 4,000 packaging initiatives, up to 20 new innovations uploaded each week from concept to in-market launch. So university initiatives as well as on-the-shelf supermarket examples. A fantastic way to keep teams up to speed and also great for inspiration and idea generation. If you'd like to know more, please email paul@thepackhub.com to book an online demo slot. So that's paul@thepackhub.com for an online slot. So that's enough about the ThePackHub. Let's get on to do some polls. So the first poll, we'd like to find out a little bit more about where you're from. So hopefully you can see that. So please vote now and let us know where you work and what industry you're in. Two-thirds of you have voted so far. It's looking good. When we did the UK and Europe webinar this morning, brand owners, I think, was the largest contingent. It looks like packaging suppliers and manufacturers this time. Vast majority of you have voted, so I'm going to end poll and reveal the results. So yeah, packaging supplier manufacturer 30%, with brand owners and consultants closely behind. And in terms of the industry you're in, again 30% food, 11% beverage, and a high percentage of health and beauty. Okay, whenever you do a packaging trends presentation, or indeed any presentation probably on any industry in the world, it's impossible not to consider the impact of COVID-19, and the packaging industry is no different. A number of different factors are obviously playing its part. The first thing really to consider is that you could argue that single-use plastic has had a lot of bad press over the last couple of years with efforts to reduce the amount used. But over the last 2 or 3 months, obviously, single-use plastic has come into its own in helping save lives and in an attempt to stop the virus. So I think what we're seeing is a more a better sort of PR of single-use plastic in the environment. We've also had things like reusable bag bans. So certainly in the States, we've had a number of states that have reverted back to single-use plastic bags, with the view that reusable bags are likely to share contagious diseases like COVID-19. So it'll be interesting to see what happens post the pandemic and what will happen. Will we end up going back to reusable bags? So it's obviously affecting things. And before all the coffee shops around the world ceased to operate, the last couple of months, reusable cups were also being banned. So consumer behaviour has certainly had to change in the last 2 or 3 months. Certainly around Europe, we've seen a number of packaging-free initiatives, certainly around the fruit and veg aisle. We've seen lots of plastic reduction strategies, and that really has been challenged at the moment because consumers and shoppers are worried, they're scared, and they're arguably demanding more protection for their products. And what effect will that have in the short, medium, and long term for these strategies to reduce the amount of plastic in our packaging? Shopper behaviour is also changing. Clearly, we're moving to much more online shopping. Tesco in the UK reported a near doubling of online deliveries. This is obviously forcing trial to make the e-commerce sector grow even more. And we're moving to a weekly shop model with top-ups, with maybe just the one top-up during the week rather than shopping on a regular basis. So these things are obviously affecting the way shoppers behave and ultimately the way that packaging can operate in the future. Recycling is also being a challenge. Stories around the world of recycling centres being closed or having limited availability. And really, maybe consumers have got to change a priority where staying alive and staying safe is more of an issue than making sure that their packaging is recycled. The stories of corrugated shortages and glass shortages being reported as well. The refillable market, this is a situation where we've had a significant growth over the last 6 to 9 months in this sector. But when you think about how this sector is administered, and you need to use a handle and multiple people using the same equipment, that's obviously having a challenge on safety and potential usage. And is the innovation funnel stalling? Many projects in the packaging industry may have been parked or even cancelled. Certainly a change of priorities for many people. Will this cause a backlog, and what will innovation look like in 9 to 12 months' time when hopefully we're past the COVID-19 situation? Product range rationalisation. Tesco did sell 60 types of sausages, but they're moving to a fraction of that. There's no need to make food manufacturing, there is a need to make food manufacturing as efficient as possible. So it makes no sense to pause to change pack size or change from one types of pasta to another, for example. Morrison's in the UK have reduced their bakery lines from 17 to 7. Another retailer moved their 20 styles of different types of pasta packs down to 6. The world hasn't ended. We're still continuing to buy products, obviously. So will we go back to the same range proliferation that we've experienced over the last 3 or 4 years as that's grown? The on-the-go product mix is also a challenge. We're seeing most people are shopping around the world. Most people are shopping, consuming at home, and rather than out and about in the street. So how will that affect packaging innovation going forward if we're all consuming at home? And a more hygiene focus, clearly. I mean, lots of concerns and worries and rumours about the effect of COVID-19 on residual on packaging. No real proper answers as to what is going on, but certainly people are more concerned about catching something on their packaging. And it's also coming through in terms of the packaging innovations that we've started to track over the last 2 or 3 months. This is just one good example. This is Pizza, as you'll know, a Canadian pizza brand. I think about 850 outlets in Canada, and they've recently introduced a tamper-proofing and product security system, whereby it ensures that the pizza, as soon as it's left the oven, cannot be touched by anyone else until it's touched by the consumer at the end. And in the UK, there's lots of examples around the world, but this is a UK example from RAP of about food waste, and there's been a massive reduction in the amount of food waste for key items such as bread, chicken, milk, potatoes thrown away, from a drop from 24% to just under 14% in 4 months. Now that is a very significant change. So all these things are factors to make it mean that COVID-19 is having an impact. So we'd like to find out a bit more from you. So I'm going to have another poll. And this is obviously to do with COVID-19. So the first question is, how has innovation in your business been affected by COVID-19? We're doing more, no real change, we're doing less, or you can't answer. And the second question is, how will innovation be in your business once the pandemic is over? And the options are, we're doing more, no real change, we're doing less, or you can't answer. Okay, about 80% of you have voted, so let's have a look at the results. So just over 40% are saying you're doing less innovation due to COVID-19, and 27% saying doing more. So I think that really reflects the vast sort of variations in how COVID-19 is affecting businesses. And in terms of how will innovation in your business be once the pandemic is over, encouragingly, 50% say they will be doing more, and only 9% will say they're doing less. And there are other results. Okay, now for some innovations. So if anyone's seen one of our packaging innovation trends presentations before, you'll know that we cluster the trends into a number of different areas. These are as follows: compostable and biodegradable, biomaterial developments, recycling, reusable and refillable systems, carbon reduction strategies, reducing waste, and a very big one over the last couple of years, plastic elimination or reduction. We're not saying that any of these innovations are an endorsement of best practice. What we're showing you is the innovations that are coming to market. So some of these are really good examples of environmentally aware packaging innovations. And some you might think, well, actually, I'm not quite sure about that from a recycling point of view or a compostability point of view. We're just really reflecting what's going on in the market. So we're not saying that these are 20 best practice examples, but more to the point, these are the things that are happening in the market. So the first one is from a Danish multinational discount grocery chain called Rema 1000, who aims to make their packaging for all their own brand products recyclable by 2023. As part of this sustainability drive, the No Thrills retailer has introduced its dishwasher cleaner in packaging made from recycled fishing nets. The retailer has teamed up with fellow Danish company Plastics for the technology required for the packaging material. Plastics' mission is to transform used and abandoned fishing nets, ropes and rigid plastic equipment that would previously have ended up in landfill or eventually the ocean. Plastics mechanically recycles them into high quality raw plastic material. The recycling technology developed by Plastics transforms this difficult recycled plastic into a dark green packaging material. Now, the shade of green in the new material derived will vary with different productions. So this is a really good opportunity, perhaps, for the brand to create a point of difference and a potential talking point. Each pack is slightly different, which is kind of going against the standard rules for packaging standardization. Now, the second innovation to chat about, I mentioned about biomaterials in the trends summary. We're tracking innovations across a load of different innovations, biomaterials: sugarcane, pasta waste, tomato waste, olive oil, banana stems, seaweed, pumpkin waste, etc. And this is Caton has also been a big area of development. It's estimated that up to 8 million tons of crustacean waste is generated annually around the world, with up to 60% of shrimp shells discarded as byproducts of the processing industry. A small part of that waste is being used for biopackaging applications, as we've tracked over the years in our innovation zone. However, the current process of chemically extracting Caton from marine waste is not optimized for the environment. The method is costly and consumes lots of energy, as well as leading to chemical byproducts that may be discharged into the environment. So what's happening? So scientists at Nanyang Technological University in Singapore hope to have developed a more sustainable way to extract it from prawn shells by fermenting it with fruit waste. They have developed a way to create chitin by using prawn shells and discarded food waste. The NTU team have found that fruit waste contained enough sugar content to power the fermentation process that breaks prawns shells down into the product. The waste then uses natural fermentation processes to extract it. So could this be a more sustainable opportunity for the growing biomaterial industry going forward? Now, recycling is a very big area. Most brands and retailers are working towards challenging initiatives to increase the amount of recycled content or improve their recycled products over the next 3 or 4 years. And this is another example from Pack, who have launched their format for Jufico, which is a German baby food producer, and will be the first to launch its organic brand fruit bar in fully recyclable monomaterial pouches. The packs are made without aluminium to improve recycling, but still deliver the requisite functional properties. Now, more recycling. Well, actually, this is not recycling. This is to do with biodegradability. The manufacturer of authentic Italian cheese, Alba Cheese, has a commitment to be more sustainable in their operations. The business is moving towards making a biodegradable stretch wrap switch. Stretch wrap, as you know, is a classic single-use packaging material that is mostly used for a one-way trip, then discarded to eventually end up in landfill. Alba Cheese's new product is part of the Australian company Biogon's plastic wrapping range, which is designed to biodegrade when in landfill through natural microbes that digest the plastic away. A proprietary organic additive which does not change the plastic's properties when in use is included in the raw material. The only byproducts are a biogas and a biomass plant fertilizer. The biodegradation process is about 20 times faster than conventional plastic, so it's still quite slow in relative terms, but obviously will be in landfill for a lot less time than conventional plastic. The Biogon's plastic products are also recyclable, and obviously that is the best way to deal with this rather than going to landfill. It's important to note that the Biogon plastic will not biodegrade in the ocean or waterway, so it doesn't solve that challenge, as there is not enough microbes to digest the plastic. Another monomaterial innovation, we're seeing lots of monomaterial developments, pouch developments, and they continue to come to market as brands look for more easy to recycle solutions that still deliver the necessary functional requirements. So this is an initiative with from Mondi and Reckitt Benckiser that have joined forces to launch a new monomaterial packaging portfolio. The RB plans to roll out this new pack in Italy in a fully recyclable monomaterial flexible plastic for their premium line of finished dishwasher tablets. Mondi's Barrier Pack Recyclable makes the packaging fully recyclable without any sacrifice to look, feel, and functional performance. The previously had used a PET-PE multi-layer laminate pouch construction that was not recyclable. So this is being launched in Italy first and be followed by Germany and the UK. Now, Ring Container Technologies are a leading plastic container company headquartered in Oakland, Tennessee. The business has partnered with a fellow American distributor of nut and dry fruit-based products, John B. some Filipino, to create lightweight and recyclable snack food packaging. The new solution sees the introduction of SmartCan, a recyclable PET alternative to the classic composite canister. SmartCan is seen as having an advantage over composite cans when it comes to recyclability and in-home reusability. It also delivers transparency, as you can see, allowing consumers to see the contents before opening the container or even before purchase in store. JBSS's research has reinforced the importance of consumers being able to see the product inside the packaging to help them assess product quality and appearance. The new SmartCan canister has the benefit of being lighter weight, using less material than traditional composite cans, and is 100% recyclable. Grainger Packaging is one of Europe's leading plastic packaging manufacturers in both food and non-food sectors. The Austrian multinational supplier has responded to the increasing demand for more sustainable packaging with the introduction of a reusable lid for yogurt cups. The new lids are manufactured using the injection molding and are dishwasher safe. The solution can be washed and reused after its initial use, offering a more permanent packaging solution. The plastic lids is multifaceted and performs several functions, of course. It provides a secure seal for the product after the pack has been opened to help extend shelf life. It also prevents the absorption of odours, as well as helping to prevent the product from spilling. The use of single-use lids can create lots of waste, of course, as not all can or will be recycled. This lid has a 95mm diameter that fits the majority of yogurt cups on the market, and that's been launched in the Austrian market initially. Now, cheese brand Dalta has announced the introduction of sachets in compostable and biodegradable material. The solution is suitable for preserving the properties of the product and to deliver an adequate shelf life. It is claimed that Dalta's introduction of the new single-dose bio-based material sachets is the first for mature, hard cheeses. The material has been designed to keep the freshness and aroma of the cheese intact. The pack is made from processing residues of agricultural products. The product can be industrially composted where available. Now we've got a couple of refillable examples. As part of a wider trend, UK retailer Co-op is fitting refillable packaging units in 35 of their stores via a new distribution agreement with social enterprise SOCO. We're seeing reusable and refillable packaging initiatives all around the world. The Loco SOCO eco refill stations have been in situ for a short period so far and have created strong interest, translating into impressive sales. Refillable stations are a significant growth area, with many retailers trialling their own new systems or in collaboration with brands. Another one sees UK retailer Sainsbury's making, in conjunction with SC Johnson, owned producer of ecological detergents called Ecover. The refillable stations are a significant growth area, with many retailers trialling their own new systems or in collaboration with brands. It is intended for the Ecover trial will be extended to include 19 other outlets later this year. Now, at this stage, we were going to show you a very nice interview with Catherine Conway, who's founder of Unpackaged, who is a refillable packaging company. They've made fantastic strides over the last 13 years or so, introducing packaging systems into various retail outlets around Europe. Unfortunately, we had some technical problems this morning with sound and vision, so we're not going to risk that again. What we will do is share this 10-minute video as part of the outputs later when we share the webinar video. So hopefully you can go and see that again. Innovation number 11. So this, the online market continues to grow at pace. We talked about it in terms of COVID-19 growth, but according to Digital Commerce 360, the sector is due to grow around by 14.9% in the USA last year, to represent 16% of all sales. This is here to stay and is growing. This growth influences the mix of products sold, and to meet the needs of this growth, P&G is expanding its Eco Box portfolio to include more of its fabric care brands. And this is really good, because this is actually having a pack that is specifically for the e-commerce channel. So what we've seen in the past is one pack size fits all, where the same pack is used in bricks and mortar that is also used for e-commerce. But this is a pack that's specifically designed for the e-commerce market. So much so that the product is delivered as a sealed corrugated box. It has no outer boxing or padding, so it complies with Amazon's SIOC, so ships in own container directive. The ultra concentrated liquid laundry detergent can serve around 100 laundry loads. The pack format uses up to 60% less plastic than traditional packaging. It's not just me that thinks it looks quite good. The response from consumers is also very encouraging, with 80% expressing a preference over conventional bottle formats. Now, it isn't totally recyclable in current systems, so P&G is working with TerraCycle to allow the recycling of the inner baladder and tap. Now, we talked about during the trends summary at the beginning about plastic reduction and plastic elimination, and this is another good example. There is a desire from that any packaging reductions do not lead to performance compromises, to ensure that the products remain protected during transportation. Packaging is also used to help navigate shoppers to find important information, so it's important to have that information highly visible. So German chain of coffee retailers, Chibo, is known for not only for its coffee, but for its range of non-coffee products that change weekly and often include clothing, as we see here. Their in-house packaging team has succeeded in delivering a prefabricated, reduced material cardboard sleeve that is folded around the clothing. A cardboard insert in the form of a bow serves to deliver stabilization. The suspension that holds the sleeve together is made from recycled plastic, and there are plans for this to be replaced by a waste paper solution in due course. The almost plastic-free solution is a unique concept that has been patent registered. The savings in reduction in plastic use are really significant. 30 million plastic packs per year they sell, so that's a significant change. Now, I mentioned about reductions in food waste due to COVID-19, but it's still a massive, big issue. It is estimated that globally around 1.3 billion tons of food is thrown away annually. There are many reasons for this, obviously, but one of the facts is that some food is thrown away because it's still fit for consumption, but the date on the pack might say otherwise. The battle to find smart and intelligent alternatives for the use of the date code has been in development for several years, and we've, in the Innovation Zone, have tracked plenty of new examples. Here is another one. Obviously, technology can let consumers know how much shelf life is left in packaged food. So this development is from Imperial College London and is an inexpensive and accurate sensor for food packaging that can indicate shelf life in real time. It is accompanied by, as most of these things are, a smartphone app, and an Imperial College spin-off company, Black Bear, has started a partnership with TPG Rewards. They aim to revive the current method of printed expiration dates that are based on conservative shelf life estimations. The way it works is that microbes emit nitrogenous gases such as ammonia. Ammonia levels can be read by a cheap sensor that's printed on cellulose paper. The Black Bear developed algorithms to measure the product freshness and predict the expiry date. So they're working hard on trials in the United States, in Asia, and in Europe. So watch this space on that one. Now, the fruit and veg aisle has probably had more change due to sort of sustainability than in any other sector. So we've seen lots of plastic reduction strategies and lots of material switches, and even packaging-free initiatives. So this Tarrytown, New York producer importer Jack Vandenberg is replacing the packs of plastic netting for their citrus products with a compostable netting made from beech tree pulp from Austria company VPZ, who supplies the netting from cold beechwood trees. The beechwood is recovered from forest thinning and is converted to fibres using carbon neutral processes. The beech tree netting has a manufacturing process that apparently results in 60% lower carbon emissions compared to the standard nets that it replaces. The new net bags have just 1% of the plastic of standard bags. There is a plastic coating on the tag attached to the netting, and the business is actively investigating a plastic-free solution for that. Now, during the supply chain journey of fresh vegetables and fruits, they can often become contaminated by microorganisms. This can lead to the spoilage of other produce, leading to further spreading of the contamination and increasing the chances of consumer illnesses. A new coating has been developed to keep the latter from happening from a College Station-based Texas A&M University have created a coating by using heat to attach a layer of silica to the surface of an aluminium sheet. Aluminium, of course, is a material that is used extensively in food handling for items such as tablets, tables, buckets, and conveyors. A mixture of silica and an antimicrobial protein has been added, and the resulting coating kills bacteria on contact. It also has a rough texture, giving it a hydrophobic quality that causes water to roll off. The coating was found to host 99.99% fewer Salmonella and Listeria bacteria. We are tracking a lot more innovations in this area, and obviously the COVID-19 pandemic has allowed businesses to resurface and reintroduce these types of innovations, even though they may not necessarily help solve COVID-19 on its own. A German vegetarian range is implementing yet another plastic reduction strategy. What we've got here is Neuberger Frischloss food manufacturer. The business has introduced a recyclable bottom film that has been led to an 80% reduction in plastic, while still maintaining, importantly, product safety and functional packaging attributes. The new packaging has been brought to market with the help of Sure Flexibles. The recyclable bottom combines a good machine runnability and effective product protection. The pack is easy to open due to its good peelability. Now, the food kit sector has seen significant growth over the last few years around Europe, North America, and Australasia. The businesses in this space have worked really hard to reduce the amount of primarily plastic packaging that it's used. their consumers have continually gone back to them and said, look, we don't like the amount of plastic that's being used. You need to do something about it. So in response, an example of this would be UK food ingredient delivery business Gusto, who have announced the introduction of a new recyclable cardboard insulator to reduce the company's environmental footprint. The Eco Chill Box solution is thought to be the first of its kind in the UK and significantly reduces the amount of plastic used. The box will replace their previous insulation solution and removes 74.5 tonnes, very specifically, of plastic from Gusto's box ranges, as well as being easier to recycle, with every part of the packaging now being widely recyclable in the UK. Apparently, they had 4,000 consumers that helped with a trial, which took a combined 3,200 hours of testing. IIC Packaging is a German-based business that has developed a new packaging solution that offers good sustainable benefits for a range of products, including prepared fish, meals, sushi, and fruit. Their e-tray product is a weight-reduced polypropylene and recycled PET tray combo and is only around 7 grams in weight. It has an outer removable cardboard sleeve, which helps to provide stability and ensures that it has good presence in store. After use, the consumer can separate the cardboard from the plastic for home recycling. Polyurethane foam is used in products such as mattresses, insulation and cushions, but obviously also has packaging applications. The material is not currently recyclable in many parts of the world and typically ends up in landfills. Its structure really means that it takes up a lot of relative space in landfill. PU foam has strong chemical bonds that prevent it from being melted down to be recycled. Previous attempts to convert it to recyclable solid form led to the resulting materials cracking and not really blending properly. However, a new process is being developed that could see the material recycled into higher quality hard plastics. Researchers from two universities, that's University of Minnesota and Illinois Northwestern University, have combined to devise a process that sees the PU foam waste mixed with a catalyst solution. This makes the foam malleable. The foam is then run through a machine to grind up the material and remove air from it. The result is a higher value hard plastic. The process could pave the way to begin recycling PU foam waste for many applications. So watch this space on that one. Now, the last innovation of the day, I've mentioned Refillable 2 or 3 times. This is a slightly different iteration of that. So the refillable packaging market has seen significant growth, as I've said, over the last 12 months or so. The health and beauty sector has been particularly active, with solutions to reduce the amount of single-use and non-recyclable packaging being developed. Vetroplast Packaging is a Norwich, UK-based packaging company that has introduced a new 50ml refillable glass jar. Now, one of the challenges for refillable packaging in health and beauty is to ensure that the premium values are maintained throughout its usage life. So this solution has a heavy glass bottom, perhaps defying some of the other strategies around carbon footprint reduction, but it does deliver a premium look and feel to give a good combination between luxury and sustainability. The internal polypropylene container and the lid can be both made of post-industrial recycled content. The lid and the inner polypropylene container can be bought separately for practical and refilling many times. This results in a 100% recycled polypropylene mono material pack, which could be recycled where curbside collection is available. Okay, so the last poll of the day, and this is a general question around innovation. So what we'd like to find out, so this is a, you can answer more than once for this one. So which will be the biggest innovation growth areas over the next 12 months? The options are increasing recyclability, refillable, plastic reduction, added functionality, smart and intelligent, carbon footprint, compostable, biomaterial development, and shelf standout. So just over half have voted so far, and it's neck and neck between increasing recyclability and plastic reduction. Okay, the vast majority of you voted, thank you for that. So share the results. And you can see the most popular result is around increasing recyclability, followed by plastic reduction. Interestingly, carbon footprint reduction is only 7%, which is quite low compared to the poll that we ran this morning. And shelf standout doesn't have any votes at all. Okay, thank you for the poll results. Now, in terms of a summary, before we go on to the Q&A. So sustainability will continue to be of major focus. Recycling growth is driven around the world by legislative necessity. So many markets are putting packaging taxes and various rules in place to make brands and retailers and packaging suppliers improve their recyclability. And coupled with that is these companies have very difficult and challenging deadlines that they all need to meet in the next 2 or 3 years. We are going to see some more carbon reduction focus, a little bit at the expense of plastic elimination. That's partly because a lot of the plastic elimination has already taken place. There's still some way to go, I accept that, and will still be significant. We are going to see more compostable and biodegradable initiatives come to market from a mainstream point of view. What we've tended to see in the past so far has been challenger brands and small considerations testing this technology. We feel that there'll be bigger players coming into this market in due course. And finally, the refillable and reusable market will continue to expand quickly, but it's still a little bit uncertain about what impact COVID-19 will have in the longer term. So now over to Q&A. Barry, can you hear me? Are you able to communicate some of the questions, please?
Yeah, hi, Paul. There's just one question, which is a request for some more insight onto the antimicrobial coatings. There'll be more extensive notes, won't there, with the slides when they come out? There will, and
there'll also be information about subscribing to our Innovation Zone database, where you have your all that information at your fingertips 24/7. So we will issue some information on antimicrobial, extra detail, plus also information on how to subscribe to our database.
That is the only question that we've got today.
Well, that is excellent. So thank you very much, Barry. It was short and sweet. Just a couple more slides to talk about in terms of, we do have a special offer for you for webinar registrants. As I mentioned at the beginning, our Sustainable Packaging Compendium, which we launched a couple of months ago, has over 500 sustainable packaging innovations listed. If you think we've just covered 20 today, over 500 in this 2-volume compendium. The printed version and PDF is for sale for £899, but we are doing a PDF only version for $299. I do realise there's a lot of North American people here, and I will do the conversions to dollars for you, but it is available for just £299 until end of play on Friday, the 22nd of May. Last slide is just to inform you about our next webinar, which will be on Friday, the 12th of June. And again, we'll be running it over 2 time periods, 10 o'clock UK time, and as we have done it now, at 1 PM Eastern time. So I'd like to thank you all very much for your attention. And as I said, we will be sharing the outputs with you as soon as we can. And hopefully you can join us for our next webinar next month. Thank you and have a good weekend.